I'ma get $1 million in the bank.
JPEG Mafia,
Okay.
friend of the show, is bashing one of your mates, man, one of your people. Your guy Drake.
No, it's never my guy Drake.
Drake bashed by JPEG Mafia over lyrical content. So JPEG did a Billboard interview where they talked to him about his music, and you know JPEG is a avant-garde artist, very experimental rap. So that's the lane he lives in. And he said people yearn for something new, especially in rap. Actually, let me put it up on here so everyone can see. People yearn for something new, especially in rap. We're yearning. We're tired. We don't want to hear Drake complain about bitches anymore. We don't fucking care. He's 40. We need something different. I'm here to try to provide and cultivate that as much as I can because rap fans are fucking bored. I'm going to have to bleep that stuff out. But
I mean, makes a great point. Drake's contribution to this shit is boring as fuck. I mean, like, this is not even like a new comment. Like, people have been making this comment. You are too old to be rapping like that. You are not doing anything original or creative or groundbreaking. You're Target. You're boring. You're capitalism. You're the sound of commercialism. Like, it's totally uninspiring.
Yeah, that's what he said, and we could get into that. I'll get into that right now. It's like, of course, we know that what he's doing is just like you're saying the same things. It's like more so, have you grown as a person? But some people have not grown as a person, and that's the music he makes it about. JPEG's 35, Drake is almost 40, I think 38. Y'all the same damn age. Y'all all old. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody's old. Like, if you're over 35, you're a grown person, right? Everyone, the world sees you as a grown person that should, quote unquote, have your shit together. The reality is most people don't have their shit together. And this person is making music about women in this way. And yes, JPEG kind of does the same thing if you look at some of his content over the years. But he does it in a more interesting way. The reality of the content game, as far as like what your content is in your raps about, I think what matters is how you grow, your authenticity, and what is your imagination when it comes to the content. Because there's a lot of content about street shit that, like, I'm like, that doesn't make any damn sense. But you said that shit was a bar, though. But that shit was a bar. It's about why you're making it and who you're making it for. The authenticity matters more than anything. But let's get to something. Here's another thing he put in the article. He said he was talking shit to people who we actually think make great content. Let's see that. Right here. Your boy, JPEG, Rips Alchemist, Earl Sweatshirt, making the same damn song for 20 years. He's saying that everybody in that whole genre is just saying the same thing. He says, I'm a risk taker. I'm one of the only risk takers in rap. The rest of these motherfuckers literally do the same thing. Alchemist, Earl and them, they've been making the same fucking song for the last 20 damn years. Nobody gives a shit. 20 fucking years. Nobody gives a shit. So, I don't know, man. How do you feel about that?
I appreciate the indie artist, the avant-garde artist saying, you guys are boring, you're not bringing it. And I appreciate that it's not just a Drake critique. He's broader than just bashing Drake. He's talking about the mainstream of hip-hop, which he dislikes, which I would expect him to dislike it. And I think this is very hip-hop, and him saying, you guys are slacking on your macking and your music is fucking whack. And it's not. None of these are ad hominem attacks. None of these are personal attacks. This is all about your music is lacking. You are not pushing yourself. You are not trying to be creative. You are not trying to advance the culture, the sound. You're not pushing the envelope. And he's got a great point, and I'm glad that he's thinking about it. I'm glad that somebody is thinking about we should be trying to innovate. That is the whole point of this thing.
Are
you getting a call?
Yeah. I was trying to mute it because it was like ringing and it still goes. Anyways,
Get that
we'll
Boss
cut that
Hog
out.
type Dukes of Hazard ring there, bruh. All right, you all
We
right.
good. We good. I got different rings for different folks. But
So when Boss Hog calls you, that's when the Dukes of Hazard song calls.
yeah. When
The
Boss
fuck?
Hog hits me up, the plug hit me. But anyways, so I agree with that wholeheartedly. That innovation is like paramount, especially within hip hop. It's like what we do. It's like what's next is so important. That's why the new hot rapper is going to get catapulted so quickly, right? Um, that's whereas other genres, that's not what it is like at all. The thing is with that, I feel like there's two type of artists, and I said we talked about this before. There's the artists that feel like they want to change the world, and there's the artists that feels like they are the world. Basically, you got the revolutionaries, and then you got the narcissists, right? Like I
Okay.
feel like just to break it down in that way, and a lot of time the people who want to change the world don't actually do it, you know, and sometimes they think that they're a revolutionary and they're actually just narcissists. And I think that's something that happens a lot of times with people who are like subgenre initiated. Like I'm the experimental artist and I do this over here and I'm trying to push the genre, but nobody copies you, nobody's influenced by you, and the genre goes somewhere completely different. So to look at Alchemist and Earl and say you've been making the same song for 20 years and you haven't pushed things forward is actually a lie, because when they were making that music in the beginning, that shit was avant-garde and it was left of field. Now that everybody starts catching up with them, now we're going to say that they've been making the same song for 20 years. That's disingenuous. And that's my problem with that statement. Whereas you could look at what he's been doing. It's like, yes, maybe after you put your 20 years in, 15 years in, people are all going to sound like you. And then if you're still doing what you're doing, people could talk shit about you. That's my problem with that, with Earl and Alchemist, because that was not the norm.
I mean, I see what you're saying. I like the revolutionaries and narcissists axis, and artists who want to change the world, and artists who think they are the world, the world around them. And I think that JPEG is saying, I am a revolutionary and I'm trying to change the world, and y'all are not trying. And like, it's not even like a selfish thing. He wants to see the art form continue to grow, and you guys are not freaking doing that. You're not participating in that. And I feel like it's a little rude, but it's almost a calling in instead of a calling out, because it's like I said, it's not ad hominem. It's like, you could do better. You know you could do better. I don't know if he thinks Drake could do better, but I think when he looks at Earl and Alchemist, he'd be like, I respect those guys. I just want them to do better. Just do fucking more. Don't fall for the machine and what, you know, money tells you could work. Go for where your heart lies. Now, the other thing within that,
I hear that.
Go ahead.
No, I hear that, and I love JPEGMAFIA's music. I love him as an artist. He's from Baltimore. I completely understand that part, but I do think it's a duality with him about the narcissist and revolutionary side, where it's like, I'm doing all this, give me my credit for pushing things forward, but are you actually pushing things forward is the question that I'm posing. Is like, in when I say that, I'm talking about within the whole culture. I think he's definitely innovating and experimenting, but let's really talk about pushing things forward too.
I think that all an artist can do is try to push things forward or abdicate trying that. You can't make other people follow you. Either they do or they don't. They may follow you later and not now. So you can't, I can't hold him responsible for whether or not people are following him. He's going to listen to his own voice, internal voice, create what he creates, and others will catch on or they won't. Right. But I think if he is doing something that is original and creative and unique, that's what he's talking about. And that's what he should be doing. And then these others are not.
It's the idea of thinking that it's more important. And I don't agree that these others are not. It's the idea of thinking that what you are creating is more important than what Alchemist and Earl have created over a year's time, which was left of field. So if they came in being left of field and then it becomes a norm within hip hop culture, it's not their fault. Because I agree with you. No one could be, you can't control who follows you and who goes in that route. Right. So, but to say that you guys are still doing that shit that you guys been doing, it's like they created this shit. What are you talking about? That's what they made. So your sound, someone might say that about you. You know what I'm saying? That's all.
So clearly, Drake is a narcissist, right? Like he clearly thinks the world revolves around him. He's not interested in changing things. And I mean, like musically, Kendrick, I'm like, he wants us to think he's a revolutionary, but is he actually a narcissist?
No. Well, I use those words, but they're really two sides of the same coin. I'm talking about their perspective while they're pushing out the art. Like, this is going to change the world.
Yeah.
Then there's this matters so much. I matter so much. Kanye, I matter so much. So I'm saying those two things. So Kendrick is a revolutionary. That's how he thinks of himself.
Kendrick does think of himself as a revolutionary, but he does think a lot about himself. He doesn't necessarily like.
That's an outside perspective, but yeah,
complex. He's not like an egomaniac like Kanye's. Like Kendrick is not always I'm the shit. He's like I am complicated, right? But that's narcissism. He's quite often like looking at himself, and I'm like, you claim to be a revolutionary. Are you really? And like, are you really not like, I am listening to the internal voice of what I think should be?
Yeah, I think if we're looking at, because obviously I simplified this concept of an artist perspective and for dramatization, but I'm saying that if we're looking at it from the outside, we could see the nuance of someone's work versus their character on the outside and be like, this is who you kind of are from us and in a whole picture. But in his perception, as what's fueling his art is that I need to make this because this is going to change things. That's what the art seems like. It's like, I'm gotta make this. This is that. This is what his language even says. It's like, we gonna be all right. He's not saying, Kiki, do you love me? Kiki, do you love me? Okay, do you love me, Kiki? He's saying we are going to be all right. And I feel like those are the two things. It's like, girl, there's Kanye, all about me, and then there's Kendrick, we gonna be all right, blacker the berry. You know what I'm saying? That's the two. And I feel like that actually exists in all artists, the narcissist plus the revolutionary. And I was just saying, some lean towards the left, some lean towards the right, some are balanced. And most of the ones that get to a certain level, I feel like they're either full left or full right.
I mean, I think when you come back to JPEG, I think he does. Like, he can see the entire playing field, and he's like, I am trying to be original. That's what hip hop was supposed to be about. You are not trying to be original. It's not even like a diss. It's just like calling a spade a spade. Like, what the fuck? Like, we're supposed to like innovate, and you're just not. And I think it's a very reasonable, real way of approaching things.
Yeah, I guess I just always look at things from the total. I completely agree with his statement and agree with you. I just always start looking at things in its totality. Like, Drake came in and that was very original. Then everything started sounding like Drake. And then we want Drake to change everything again? That's kind of what we're asking. And same thing with Earl and Alchemist. They were very original. Then everything starts sounding like Earl and Alchemist.
But Drake, especially with the commercial power that he has, maybe you'll say that becomes a prison. He has surely not asked himself to grow as an artist at all in 10 years. Right?
Yeah,
I mean, any modern Nokia could have come out 10 years ago. You wouldn't know the difference, right? One Dance could come out now. And so he's not even asking himself to grow and change sonically, what he's taught thematically, the way he rhymes. That's what
2015 is the last innovation. 2015 is the last innovation of Drake, basically. And I agree with that 10 years difference between Drake's music is not very different. You're not getting much
And
difference.
Kendrick, I mean, like you would know the records on G and X would not go on Good Kid, Mad City, and vice
To
versa.
Pimp a Butterfly, yeah,
because he's grown, he's changed, he's talking about something different, he approaches it differently. I mean, I think we both agree. We've always in hip hop been like, come on, like grow, change, innovate, do something different. And if you're not, somebody should come along and call you out. Like we should have battles over this sort of shit. Your shit is fucking lazy. You're not innovating in the fucking culture, and I'm gonna fucking battle you like shit. Like attack a nigga on that. Your album was whack. That's why I'm attacking you.
But yeah,
not because you're from LA.
Niggas, your shit is whack. I agree with that, and that's been the like crux of the underground versus the mainstream in hip hop since the beginning, right? Since like the West Coast started popping, it's been like oh, you guys are doing this stuff. Since MC Hammer, right? That ain't rap, that's pop, or whatever like that. The idea of this is popular and we are actually of the culture. So yes, niggas should battle about that shit, but also I don't know if you really want to act like you are the one spearheading innovation solely without actual, like a current moving in your direction.
He's not saying all that. I don't need all that. He
said it in the
you
article.
You ain't doing it right.
I agree.
All right. It's all right. Okay, stop there.
Shout out JPEG. Yeah, I'm gonna cut that up. 18.
Be good to get him come through and talk about all